Yeah, fine. I think we are good to start now. Fine. Can you please tell me about yourself so that we can start our interview discussion?
Sure. So first of all, thanks for providing me this opportunity. Myself, Manoj Vignesh. I have total 4 years of experience working as an AWS and DevOps engineer. So currently working with the Cognition Technology Solution in Ali project. It is a US-based banking project. So I am responsible for working as a AWS and DevOps infrastructure code and platform services like EC2, S3, load balancer, auto scaling, VPC, RTS, and DynamoDB, cloud formation, Lambda, SQS, EAM, and CloudWatch. And in DevOps, I have worked on CI/CD creation, continuous integration, continuous deployment, using Git as a source code management, and Maven as a build tool, using Jenkins for the CI/CD, along with Ansible for configuration management and deployment. Also, I worked on Docker Kubernetes for microservices application, and I worked on Terraform infrastructure as creation across multiple platforms. So mostly my ticket assigned is in Jira task. So based upon the Jira task, I will prioritize the work and start working on the specific AWS and DevOps related pipeline along with the developers and along with the clients. So this is a short introduction of myself.
Good, Manoj. So we can get it started with AWS. If you good know, then we can move on to DevOps. Okay. So starting with AWS,
Sure.
I would understand you worked on EC2, load balancer, auto scaling, everything. So can you tell me? So if I want to create an application load balancer, what is the pre-requirement?
In AWS load balancer, we need to set up a health check policy, and we need to create the specific EC2 servers, which we need to map with the context tool with the domain path. So I need to VPC configuration, and we need to specify the protocol like HTTP and HTTPS protocol along with the health check policies. After that, I can include the rules. Inbound rules, how the traffic should be routed to the specific resource, the type of the service. So we call them as the context.
What is the subnet level pre-requirement needed in terms of creating an application load balancer?
In subnet level prerequisite is I need to set up like the availability zones, and the load balancer at least have one subnet, and we need to specify the based on the availability zone. And I believe we cannot add a local zone subnet, so we need to check the specific subnet level according to the availability zones.
What is the minimum number of subnet I required in terms of creating application load balancer? Can you tell me what is the minimum subnet I need?
One subnet.
One subnet is enough to create an application load balancer?
Depends upon the availability zone. So depends upon the if I have one availability zone, it can requires at least two it's a two subnets. So two subnets actually.
So coming to auto scaling, so in terms of adding my auto scaling, integrating along with my load balancer, so how will you do that?
Like first you need to integrate the launch configuration and the launch template. So we need to specify the type of the template for the launching instances. So the launch configuration and launching template, I need to specify the AMI version, the VPC, and the user data, the type of server which we need to launch. And in auto scaling group, I need to specify the specific load balancer which I want to attach. So after specifically attach the load balancer, I need to specify the auto scaling group, which will include the target groups, and it will also include the other features like the minimum, maximum, and the design set of instructions. And scaling and scale out time policy. And I need to specify the CloudWatch rule. Based upon that, it will upscale the instance. Based upon the template, it has to attach to the load balancer.
Okay, so could you please tell me when you have a EC2 instance, when I have my client has a requirement, when my client trying to create a EC2 instance, right? The tag, okay, the username should be added along with the instance as a tag, owner equal the person who create the instance. I want to automate this task. So how will you do that? Understand my question?
So you want to automate the tag, right?
Yeah, the user who created the instance, right? His name should be there in the owner tag.
Okay, if I need to specify the role permission, Maybe like creating a cloud formation, we need to array initialization. So in our array initialization, I need to include IDs equal to, and within the array syntax, I need to specify the index ID, index 0 along with the instance ID. This will be helpful to attach them to a tag. So automate the specific tag I need to do, we can do that. We can also do the cloud trail resources, and we can include lambda function, which include resources auto tagger lambda function. So this specific function within a lambda, which will create a rule during the CloudWatch events. It will also automatically tag the instance name. So it's instant ID.
Okay. So where do you get the owner information during this process?
Actually, the first step is we need to set up a cloud trail rule. Then after setting a cloud trail, we need to set up a AWS and resource tag. So we use SSS parameter and store the parameter tags within the cloud rails. So the cloud rails will help to take a specific input, and the lambda function will be given with the permission as a fourth step. And the fifth step, I need to create the auto tagger. That lambda function it will take the input from the cloud rail and it will apply to the EN value to the specific EC2 resources.
Okay. So could you please tell me, I wanted to enable EFS to my EC2 instance. I need to mount it. So in what scenario you will go for using EFS?
For suppose I want to do NFS, network file sharing. So if I have a set of file servers, in my current situation, we are using batch application. So the batch applications are 5 different servers, which will transfer the same batch process records. So for this, I need a common network file system sharing. So I need to apply EFS, which represents the instance ID, and we need to configure the instant ID. So which will apply within a specific instance group, and finally I need to use file system home target within the security group. So it will help to combine the file system or the file servers which are going to do the same batch processes.
Okay, that's good. So what are the DevOps tools you worked on?
Git, Jenkins, Ansible, Terraform, and Maven, Docker, Splunk.
Okay. Coming to Terraform, see, my client has a requirement. They wanted to build a solution for setting up the, the EKS Kubernetes cluster that have to be performed to Terraform. So what are the things you will make it as variables?
First thing I need to provide a provider.tf file. The provider.tf will have the authentication provider like access key and secret key. It will also information of the region and the AWS provided plugins. Then I need to Terraform init. It will load the modules and the plugins with the local resources. Then I can create a resources.tf file. So in the resources.tf file, I can specify the resource for IAM role and the role attachment, and finally AWS EKS cluster resources. So this role attachments and role will have the permission for the EKS cluster creation. And finally, when we specifying the output of ETF file, we'll be printing the status output of the cluster information using an endpoint as a return attribute. So we can only do the Terraform init. It will load all the module and plugins, and Terraform apply will build the resources.
Okay, that's good. Fine, Manoj, Vignesh. I've done with my part. I'm totally fine with you. Okay, I'll update the same thing to HR. They will revert you for the further updates. Okay.
Sure, thank you. It was good speaking with you.
Nice.
Have a happy weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Wish you the same.